welcome to Weekly Manna from Aposa UCC with Pastor Gideon Jesse Obodai. Stay tuned as we bring you a powerful word of God, specially cooked from heaven. We trust that this message will bring light and life to you and be a blessing to you as you listen.
How am I sure that Timothy was going to be a successful minister? Like Paul, I believe that he was going to excel very well. But what gives me the assurance, or what gives us the assurance that Timothy was going to be a good minister and never going to betray the trust that no mean person like Apostle Paul had conveyed in him? Well, my name is Gideon. I welcome you to Weekly Manna from Aposa UCC. Our subject today is do not despise them. Do not despise them. What was going to give Timothy the edge to succeed in his endeavor? I believe that Timothy had certain advantages that predisposed him to doing well as a minister. There are some things in your life maybe you have not turned your attention to, but those things are the reasons why I believe you are going to be a great person. Those are the things I believe that if you put and turn your attention to them, God is going to utilize them. He's going to ride on them to make you the kind of person He intended to be. So let's go into the life of Timothy and let's learn the lessons of these things that are in us, with us, that are sureties or evidences that God is going to use them to make us great and the good persons He intends us to be. First were the prophecies. In 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse 18, Paul told Timothy, "This charge I commit to you, my son, according to the prophecies previously made concerning you, that by them you may wage a good warfare." So Timothy had in his life prophecies, and these prophecies were a revelation of what God wanted him to do. They were communications of what the intentions and the plan God has for them. And listen, child of God, we know Jeremiah says, "I know the thoughts I think towards you. They are not thoughts of evil, but thoughts of peace that will bring you to the expected end." God communicated by way of prophecies to Timothy what He intended to make of him, and he was aware. And because of knowledge of these things, I believe he was going to be on the road to be excelling. What has God told you? What have you heard people say to you? What are the encouragement God has told you that you will become and do? They are the things that must spur you on and never cause you to be discouraged. Second were the gifts. He told them, "Do not neglect the gifts of God that were given to you, which was given to you by prophecy with the laying on the hands of the eldership." So Timothy had some gift. He had some talent. He had abilities that God had knitted him with. And hear me, child of God, you are not an ordinary person. God has placed in you some treasures. He has given you some skills. He has given you some abilities. He has given you some talent. He is going to use those same things to glorify Himself and achieve His purpose in our lives and in your life. So trust me that aside the prophecies, which are the revelations of God's intentions and plan towards you, He has also deposited treasures in you, gifts, talents, abilities, and skills through which He is going to use to glorify Himself. So Timothy also had models. Now he had his mother and his grandmother, Eunice and Lois, as good mentors in his house. He had from infancy known of the ways of his mother, of the ways of his grandmother. These were examples to him in the family. And God was going to ride on what he had known from infancy to cause him to achieve the things he wants to do. You have certain experiences. You have had certain encounters with certain people that God, through these encounters and experiences, were shaping you for what He intends to use you to do. They are not a waste. It can be hurting, it can be satisfying, but they are all part of God's package, God's intentions, God's preparation at making you what He intends to do with you in your life. So the models God has placed in your life, the people God has placed in your life, and thankfully Paul himself was one of such models. In 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 10, he told Timothy, "You have known of my manner of life." It meant that Timothy had watched Paul closely. He had known of his way of life, his faith, how he conducted himself. And this was going to be a good example and model to him in discharging his duties as a pastor or as a servant of God. Child of God, finally there were the scriptures. And he said, "How from your infancy you have known the scriptures, which are able to make you wise unto salvation." The scriptures carries instructions for our lives. In them, the man of God is prepared, fully equipped to do every good thing that God has intended him to do. So here are prophecies, here are giftings, here are models, and here are scriptures. These are the things you must not despise. They were the advantage to Timothy, and those same are the advantage for you, that God is going to write on them to make you the kind of person he intends to be. God is going to use them to accomplish and to do whatever he intends you to be. Don't despise them. They are God's investment in your life. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Manna. If you have been blessed by this message, kindly like, share, and don't forget to subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell to receive updates as soon as new episodes are uploaded. God bless you and see you in the next episode.
Adios.